Hey everyone, welcome back to Craps University. Today we're going to talk about something that's very basic, and that is a flat betting system. And the system is not only how to bet or whatnot, it is kind of a core type system that is anywhere between conservative to aggressive, but really there's no pressing, there's no odds, it's just straight flat bets. So first, determine your bankroll, okay? So my bankroll is 2500. That means 1% would be 25. This is $25 table, so basically one bet. But for me, I would say use anywhere between 1 to 5%, and 5% would be $125. That's pretty easy math. So you could do that. You could flat bet that on every roll or every shooter. So let's go ahead and we can get into basically some walkthrough. And I think since this is YouTube, walkthroughs are the best. I can talk all day, but actually seeing it in motion kind of will really help. So let's pick up some dice and throw and put it out. If anybody wondered, what I do is I throw the dice and I pick up my numbers. It's one of those rituals, I think. If I see dice out there that equal 9, I usually pick those, or 6 and 8. So it's just a habit that I've grown into. So we're going to flat bet 5% of 2,500. Okay? And this is more aggressive for this. If you wanted to do 1%, that would be a nickel. 2% would be 2. Pretty straightforward and easy. A lot of people stick around to 3%. So a 3%, that would be a pass line bet. And when a point's established, probably a 6 and 8. Buy a little extra, put some caps on there to make it right. So for me, what I'm going to do, we're going to set a point before we do anything. And 7, pay the line. All right, we pay. I've got my budget for this shooter out. And actually, I want to put it the next one over so I can kind of keep track. All right. And 7 again, pay the line. Six. All right, so that's good. We already have the 6 with the pass line. And what I'm going to do, and I'll get some caps with that 25. We'll rack that 20. So instead of using the 125, I use 105. And we collect when we hit. All right, let's go. And 4 the hard way. All right, we don't have the 4. Roll again. And 7 out. So that is worst case scenario for us. We did make the $50 off of the 7s, which was that, but we lose 55 on that roll. So You got to be really good to pay attention and count every roll, know what's going on so you can make better informed decisions. All right, so we're coming out again. And 9. No field 9. All right, so same as last time. 6 and 8, and then we'll put 2 caps on them. And we'd really like to see 4 hits. And 8. It's hit number 1. 30 pays 35. And 8 again. Square pair, hard way. Actually, instead of 4 hits, you want to see 3 hits before really doing anything else. And 4 for the hard way. 10, easy 10. 9, point. All right, so that pays 1 to 1. Pick it up, rack it. We're still ready to go. That's hit number 3. So we probably were very close to playing with casino money now. 8 the hard way. We're on to 8. That's easy decision. Move over to the 9. Rack that nickel. And let's go. And 3. Acey deucey. Yo. 12 midnight craps. All right. Kind of strange rolls. Looking for that 8. 6. 6 the easy way. All right. We're definitely in the money. That's 1 hit. And 8. All right. Point. We take a winner down there. We rack that up. And we're coming out. 3 craps. Six. Move that to the 8. All right, since we lost that on that pass line on the come out, we'll roll again, try to get another hit. And 7 out. All right, well, that's what the game of craps is all about. But that's okay. We're down just a little bit. We made back a little bit on that last one. All right, 8. Again, 105 we have out. And 9. Center field 9. 25 pays 35. Pick it up, rack it. And 6 the hard way. 30 pays 35 for 6. And 8, point. All right, we win there. And we're coming out. And 6. 6. We will take our 6 that's placed, move it to the 8. And let's go. 8 point. Nope, sorry. That's a winner though for us. And we've got 8. Now we are back to the, we've got it paid off. That was 4 hits actually. So we're a little bit up on that. And 7 out. Well, I need to quit saying that because that's the second time I've said that and we 7'd out. But we did pay off our bets. And we're coming out. 6, the easy way. So we've got a total of 105 out. We're looking for 3 hits. 6. That's a point. Coming out. 3 craps. All right. And 9. 9. So with the 9, we'll move to the 6. We'll cap it. And we'll call it a good day. Looking for some hits. 8. Very slow and methodical, trying to get the initial investment paid off so we can do some other things. And 3 craps. Nothing happening. And 10. 10 the hard way. 10 on the other end. And 9 point. All right, every little bit helps. And we're going to pay that 9. Rack. Coming out. And 5. Easy decision here. We're on. We'll just go to the 9. And roll. 8. 8 the easy way. Four, easy 4. 6 the hard way. All right. So 30 pays 35, rack it up. All right, we're there. And 4. 3 craps. Acey deucey. 9. All right, so we got some options here, what we want to do. Of course, you can same bet, just collect. But for us, we're going to press that 9. And 6. And again, we are going 30 pays 35. We are going to press that 6. And 2 craps, aces. 7 out. That's too bad. We were waiting to hit some of the numbers that we pressed. All right, we'll crack into the red here. This will be the last roll. 9. Center field 9. And we are going to go 80 inside. Looking for 3 hits. 6. Page 35. Hard 8. That pays 35. That's the square pair. And 7. 7 out. All right. With that being said, let's see how we did. We didn't touch the black, so we know we got 2,000 in black. We started with 2,500. And we've got 450 in green. We've got 490, so we lost 10 bucks. All those rolls and only down 10 bucks, that's a good day. I'd rather be up. I would have rather liked to hit some of those numbers we pressed. We had some good rolls. That's what we lost. The longevity at the table using something like this, so you can get into multiple hot rollers. Still not bad. So let's talk about, like, what are some of the comparisons? So like the martingale, doubling down to chase losses until a house eats them. You know, that's what happens there. You look at the paroli, where you're pressing your wins until the pockets are bursting. But flat bets laugh at those extremes, and it's very steady, very methodical, and very conservative. You're not going to probably become very wealthy unless you get on an hour and a half roll and you start hitting those press numbers. Also, be careful with pressing any of those after everything's been paid off. You've got to take profits. You've got to fill your rack with chips. That's the goal. So here's some common pitfalls. Never drift into progressive betting mid-session. Stay disciplined. So what I say is, if you're progressively making your bets larger to compensate for losses, you have to stay disciplined in something like this. We lost. We had, I think, the first roll out. We 7'd out before anything really happened, so we were down. But don't worry about it, because people will make numbers. They will hit many points. They will hit your numbers, and you can collect and make your decisions. The goal is, on every roll, every shooter, pay those bets off first. Once you have all your bets paid off, then you can think about doing stuff. Like I showed press here, okay? But what if you decided to go to 2x odds? If you're playing 6 and 8 and the points on an 8, then why not play some odds back there? But do that with the winnings. It's all about bankroll management with craps. Don't just up your bets if you feel lucky, because a lot of times that's what will drive you to run out of chips. Take breaks, stretch, hydrate, come back to the table whenever you want to. Leave the table when you want to. Come back. You know, have some freedom. The casinos are fun. I like casinos. Yes, I like to gamble. I like to eat food. They always have good food at casinos. But I really like to people watch because there are some characters that come into the casino. So here's some key takeaways. Flat bets are very predictable. You know what you know. And I was playing more of aggressive pass line with inside numbers. Usually the point was an inside number, so I was in for total 105. But let's say it went to a 4. That means I would be in for 130 total. So that's a little bit more aggressive, but it's still conservative because my goal was to get those bets paid off as fast as possible. So simplicity of this system breeds the discipline. And then patience is your best friend. So the longer you can stay at a table, the more opportunity you have to get that hot shooter. And that's what I like to do. I like to wait for that hot shooter. And then once you get your bets paid off, you're off to the races. But just don't press, collect, press, collect. You know, you also have to be disciplined there. So if you enjoyed the ride that we took you on today, hit subscribe. Also hit the notification so you can listen to all the new content that's coming out. And leave a comment. Everybody wants to hear what everybody has to say. Thanks for watching Craps University. Have a great one.